Yeah. Yeah, I think the biggest change you can make to your social media to bring some more value at the moment, from what I can see, is you're treating your audience as one audience instead of individuals. For me, that's the biggest thing. And marketing's changed. I mean, like, we had this conversation 10 years ago. In fact, we were having conversations like this 10 years ago, and it was different then because you did have a way of just advertising and marketing to a group, whereas now advertising is just, and marketing is just so all around. Branding is so all over the place that it's becoming more and more one-to-one. And so there's this push marketing, which I've seen. Like, if you look at your Twitter, for example, one thing I noticed with your Twitter is, as a business side to it, I just think your business lends itself very well to Twitter, more so than a lot of other businesses, but you don't utilize that. So what I would do if I were you is I would get on the Twitter game, and I'd literally allocate 2 or 3 hours to Twitter. Yeah, and the thing with Twitter really is, if you think of Twitter, as most people do, as there's a billion people who are on Twitter, and all of them are going, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, and nobody is engaging properly, or very few. So whilst everyone's going, I'm here, literally standing next to each other going, I'm here, as soon as you actually just reach across your hand and say, hi, then all of a sudden, that's the value of, I think Twitter's probably, in some respects, is more valuable than any of the other social media, because it's the only place that you can physically interrupt a conversation. Like, if you're in a shop and you just wander up to someone and you say, hi, how you doing? How's your day? My day was this. Then they're going to think you're a fucking creepy motherfucker. But you can do that on Twitter. No problem. It's like a thing you're allowed to do. You can interrupt conversations. You can join in conversations. You can make friends. But people don't. People are just saying, here's my conversation. Do you want to join in my conversation? Which is what you're doing. You're saying, here's my conversation. Who wants to be part of my conversation? Instead of actually saying, well, do you know, there's some really valuable conversations going on. I want to join in with yours and then be a friend with you. You do that 1,000 times, which, let's face it, it's not that time consuming. If you allocated an hour or 2 hours to Twitter every day, and you just started joining in these conversations and making 1,000 new contacts and 1,000 new people to chat to, you could do that in a month, a couple of weeks to a month. That's 1,000 people. So, just allocate that time every week, and you do that every month and for a year. That's how you get up to 20, 30, 40,000 people on Twitter. But 30, 40,000 people who genuinely know who you are, who genuinely care because you've got a bit more of a emotional tie and a relationship with them. And you're not doing that. You're just saying push, push, push. Now, I think the push thing has a place. Twitter is a very good place to actually push out a lot of the links that you're already doing, which I think is really, really good. And if you're not looking to massively build your Twitter, fair enough. But if you are, which I think you particularly should be, if you are looking at massively building your Twitter, because I think for you it's particularly valuable, then that's not enough. I think you're only doing a third of a job. So I think there should be your stuff that you're pushing out. I think there should be the conversations that you are actually joining in, and then also bringing value by sharing and helping others, by bringing value to them by saying, oh, I've just been chatting to so and so, and I think that blog that you just wrote or that tweet that you just wrote is really good. I'm going to tweet that or retweet that, and then you're bringing value that way as well. Yeah, so effectively I would up your Twitter game massively. I just think that you are missing a trick with it, and I don't think your business is as particularly Instagram friendly as a lot of others. I think it's not as B2B as going on LinkedIn, so I would stick with Twitter. And I think at the moment, if I look at what you're doing a third of it very well, which effectively makes it feel like a very selfish way of marketing. So you're thinking about marketing as it was 10, 15 years ago, as opposed to thinking about marketing in today, where this is about communication, breaking through the noise, and just going for the one-to-one demographic, rather than just hashtags. Go and find, rather than saying, here's my hashtag, everyone find my hashtag. Actually, why don't you go find the hashtag and you start talking to people, rather than saying, people will come and join my hashtags because other people will be searching. It's too selfish. You've got to actually say, actually, why don't I be the one that actually breaks the silence and goes and chats with people? And if you can do that, I guarantee you could grow your Twitter 1,000 people a month easily. In 1 year's time, you could get 15 to 20,000 people on Twitter if you wanted to, if you prioritized it. You could probably do 3 times that, but I think you could do that with a stage 1 is what I think you could do. So if you wanted to go further than that, you could, but that would just be with an hour to 90 minutes a day, which you've got time for.